What kind of feeling? I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. What kind of feeling? I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
Guardians of the Galaxy, directed by James Gunn, and is the 10th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So, Guardians of the Galaxy tells the story of Star-Lord, just an ordinary human from Earth. He gets picked up on a ship, transported to another distant galaxy, and gets arrested and teams up with unlikely friends, a green woman Gamora, tree groups, a warrior named Drax, and raccoon named Rocket, and together they become the Guardians of the Galaxy, and on a desperate mission to find the orb before the evil Rohan, the Accuser, can get his hands on it with his assistant Nebula, Gamora's sister. But little do they know that Rohan might actually be working for the Avengers' greatest enemy, Thanos himself. With the release of Guardians Volume 2, the sequel, I thought, why not review the original first? But don't worry guys, my review of Volume 2 will be coming very soon, promise. Thank you all for being so patient. Of course, everybody loves and absolutely freaking raves about the original Guardians, saying it's the best Marvel movie ever, it's the only one that compares with the Avengers, and it's just been treasured by all MCU fans 3 years later. And am I in that camp? Pretty much, yes. I really like Guardians of the Galaxy. It is one of the most fun and visually spectacular and creative and enjoyable and heartfelt MCU movies made to this date. Do I think it's absolutely perfect as most? No, not quite, but I always have such a blast. It doesn't have to be perfect to be enjoyable. So to kickstart the positives, the cast and characters are delightful. All five of our main heroes have truly become some of the best superheroes and Marvel characters in the history of the universe. I mean, nobody even knew about the Guardians of the Galaxy or gave a shit about them before this movie. They were so little known until Marvel, the geniuses that they are, changed that. And now, who doesn't love Star-Lord? Who doesn't love Groot and Rocket, Gamora and Drax? I just want to totally go on adventures and quests with these guys and have a drink with them. And Chris Pratt is absolutely fantastic as Star-Lord. Yeah, this is one of his best performances. He has a genuine charisma. He's absolutely loving the role. He can do the dance moves right and his one-liners right. Dave Bautista as Drax is tough and a great warrior, but also so lovable with so much heart. He's so sympathetic with the backstory of what happened to his wife and daughter, and Vin Diesel as Groot, just awesome. His deep voice is perfect for the character, and great motion capture performance, and I never was annoyed by him saying, "I am Groot." Just delighted. And we were all concerned about Rocket the Raccoon being the weak link in the cast, but thankfully he turned out to be one of the highlights of this movie. Just Bradley Cooper absolutely nailed it. And who wouldn't want to be best buddies with a raccoon with a freaking machine gun? And the best performance of the cast for me, my favourite character, is Zoe Zadana's Gamora. Oh, Gamora is amazing. Zoe Zadana's one of the best actresses for me, as she was, of course, Neytiri in Avatar, my favourite movie, and you could basically call her Green Avatar here. She's just totally kick-ass in the action scenes. She has a great tragic backstory with her sister Nebula, which will be further explored in Volume 2, of course. And she and Star-Lord have great chemistry. I love their romance, and all of the characters gradually develop solid chemistry. They start out, of course, having to learn to work with one another to escape in the awesome opening action scene, the prison break, which was the perfect way to bring them all together, despite their differences. And you got to applaud and thank all of the talented cast for giving it their all. They know their roles off by heart at this point, and the story is very simple. It's a very basic superhero team-up movie, exactly identical to the Avengers and Justice League coming out later this year, where heroes have to band together, find an orb, and prevent a villain from conquering the universe. But that works for introducing these characters for the first movie. It's more character driven than it is action driven, which is the right direction to take. I'm glad it's not trying to be too complicated, and which allows for excellent development. The backstories that these characters are given help us care about them even more, and James Gunn so confidently directs this movie. You could tell he wanted to make it something special. Not to mention the comedy is outstanding. I was laughing so hard throughout the running time. My sides were literally splitting. And just finally a superhero film in the 21st century that doesn't have to be dark, that isn't copying The Dark Knight, and is just having fun. That's how Marvel differentiate themselves from DC as so well. While DC takes the darker approach, Marvel took the fun approach, making for a wonderful script, and the galaxy and the world building and just the look of this movie is spectacular. Just visually, it's one of the biggest and best looking Marvel movies ever made. I have got to applaud the production designer team. Every shot in this film is beautiful. Artists just have to take notes from this movie. I loved every single location and planet that our heroes visited, and just the look of the starships and the galaxy. And there's one special shot when Groot lets out his amber. Oh, it's an absolute treat for the eyes, and I adore the colours of this movie. There are some impressive action scenes too. It's not the most action-packed superhero movie ever made, but when we get it, it's thoroughly entertaining. The opening action scene with Star-Lord's just dancing and hip-hopping to music, and he makes his escape, and the prison break being one of my favourites in the whole film. That is just kick-ass, and just the first battle with Rohan and the Guardians when they go visit that collector, that is so freaking cool. And the final battle on Rohan's ship is pretty darn spectacular, and it's just great how every Guardian gets a part in the fight, and they all get to show off their powers. And the best, funniest moment in the movie for me.
Things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Listen to these words. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Now bring it down hard. Someday, put it together.
What are you doing?
Dance off, bro.
Pure comedic genius. And the pacing just flies by. It is so brisk. Kids and adults will love this movie, as well as the movie surprisingly having plenty of heartfelt, heartwarming moments too, despite being pure fun and excitement. The one moment that did make me cry the most was when Rohan's ship was collapsing and the Guardians thought they were doomed, but then Groot just wrapped his branches around them all to protect them, and Rocket's begging Groot not to sacrifice himself, but Groot just replies, "We are Groot." Oh, you need a handkerchief for that scene. It shows the great extent of Groot and Rocket's friendship, and the soundtrack. I absolutely love this soundtrack. I have been listening to it for the past 3 years. That's Hooks on a Feeling song just gets me pumped every time. I know that's Guardians of the Galaxy when I hear that theme. However, guys, I'm afraid as really good as Guardians is, I don't think it's a perfect movie. Please don't hurt me. I acknowledge that many think it is perfect, but I do have my flaws as much as I like it. The first being that the villains, Rohan and Nebula, are definitely the weak links in the cast. They're the weakest part of the movie. Rohan the Accuser is one of the worst villains in a superhero movie. He is painfully boring and lacks any depth and motivation. He just monologues and wants the orb and serves Thanos for reasons that are totally unexplored. If our main characters could be this well developed, why couldn't our villains? Come on, James Gunn. And although that was a cool badass scene when he was receiving orders from Thanos. Yeah, Thanos does make a cameo, but Thanos is pretty wasted in the film if he's only going to appear for that one scene. And Nebula, played by Karen Gillan, I really liked Karen Gillan as Amy Pond in Doctor Who, but here she's okay, I guess. But even Nebula in this movie isn't very interesting and doesn't have much to do other than her, well, connection to Gamora, which will get further explored in Guardians 2. As well as the opening of the movie is terrible. I am sorry, but I would go that far when it opens with Star-Lord's mother, who is dying of brain cancer. What the fuck, movie? That opening is way too dark and out of place in a fun action comedy like this. Where's the fun in that? That's completely tonally out of place and so unnecessary. But thankfully, after that unnecessary darkness in the opening, the movie becomes a fun action romp as it should be, and greatly picks up from there. So despite a couple of flaws, and despite me not raising it as high as most would, Guardians of the Galaxy is still one of the better movies in the MCU. While the MCU has been a mixed bag for me, some of their movies are great, some not so great, but Guardians of the Galaxy is definitely one I always go back to. And stay for the credits, because there's a fun cameo from Howard the Duck. I give Guardians of the Galaxy 4 stars out of 5. As for Guardians Volume 2, you'd better be good. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what do you think of Guardians of the Galaxy? Please comment, let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And please follow me on Twitter and on Google+. And I'll see you all next time when I review the sequel, Volume 2, as well as Alien Covenant and Baywatch and Pirates of the Caribbean 5 reviews to look forward to. I'll see you then. Bye, guys.